When Linda and her family arrived on our doorstep claiming she had cancer and nowhere else to go, we welcomed them in without hesitation. But as her demands grew and tensions mounted, I overheard a shocking truth that would turn our home upside down. But before we start, smash the like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. Linda and her family arrived on a Wednesday evening. James and I had barely settled in when the doorbell rang. I opened the door to find Linda, Martin, Kevin, and Sophie, looking more like they were ready to move in than just visit. "Lisa, we need your help," Linda said, voice trembling. "I have cancer." Those words hung heavy in the air. Cancer. I felt the blood drain from my face. James jumped up from the couch, rushing to Linda's side. "Linda, why didn't you tell us sooner?" he asked, helping her in. "Didn't want to burden you," she whispered. "But we lost the house to medical bills. We have nowhere else to go." Without a word, they all moved in. Our peaceful life shattered in that instant. The next few days were chaos. Linda transformed our home into her kingdom. "Lisa, could you take care of the kids today?" "I'm too tired," she'd say, while lounging on the couch. "Lisa, the bathroom needs cleaning." "Lisa, could you make dinner?" James, bless his heart, tried to help, but he worked long hours. The burden fell on me. The kids were running wild, the house was a mess, and Linda acted like she was the only one who mattered. One evening, I found her in the kitchen, surrounded by piles of dirty dishes. "Linda, you have to help out," I said, trying to keep my voice calm. "I'm sick, Lisa," she snapped. "You don't understand what I'm going through." I bit my tongue, not wanting to argue. But frustration simmered beneath the surface. It was late one night when I overheard them. I was in the hallway, passing by the guest room, when I heard my brother Martin's voice through the door. "Linda, this has gone on long enough. We need to tell them the truth." "Shut up, Martin," Linda hissed. "They're buying it. We need a place to stay. But lying about cancer? Do you want to be homeless?" Linda's voice was sharp, venomous. "They can afford it. Lisa is too nice to say no." I stumbled back, my heart racing. She was lying. The illness, the financial ruin, all lies. Rage bubbled up inside me. I had to expose her. The next morning, I couldn't look at Linda the same way. Her deception gnawed at me. I tried to focus on my chores, but my mind kept replaying their conversation. How could she do this to us? James noticed my distraction. "You okay?" he asked, concern in his eyes. "I'm fine," I lied. "Just tired." I didn't want to worry him until I had a plan, but it was hard to keep my emotions in check when Linda continued to boss me around, all while pretending to be a victim. Linda had planned a big party for the weekend, to thank everyone for their support during her illness. I had my own plans. "Lisa, make sure everything's ready," Linda said that morning, fussing over the decorations she had bought. "Of course, Linda," I replied, forcing a smile. She didn't suspect a thing. Throughout the day, I pretended to prepare for the party. I set up chairs, arranged the snacks, and even put on a good show of being busy. But at the last moment, I slipped out of the house. I needed to be gone when everyone arrived, to make Linda face the chaos alone. I headed to a friend's place, nervously watching the clock. By the time guests started arriving at our house, I was miles away. My phone buzzed incessantly, Linda's name flashing on the screen. I ignored it. When I finally returned home, it was late. I walked in to find the house full of confused and annoyed guests. The living room was a mess. Linda stood in the middle, looking frantic and out of control. "Lisa," she cried, spotting me. "Where the hell have you been?" I took a deep breath, preparing for the confrontation. "Everyone, can I have your attention?" I called out, my voice steady despite the storm inside. The room quieted down. Linda stared at me, panic flickering in her eyes. "I need to tell you all something," I continued. "Linda has been lying. She's not sick. There's no cancer. It's all been a manipulation to take advantage of our hospitality." Gasps and murmurs spread through the crowd. Linda looked like she was about to explode. "How can you say that, Lisa?" she shrieked. "You're making a huge mistake." James stepped forward, his face hard. "We know the truth, Linda. Lisa heard you and Martin talking. This is over." Linda's face crumpled. She turned to Martin, who just hung his head in shame. "It's true," he muttered. "We lied. We're sorry." The room was thick with tension. Linda broke down, sobbing. "I'm sorry, Lisa. I didn't know what else to do. We were desperate." James didn't budge. "That doesn't excuse what you did. You've hurt us all. You need to leave. Now." Linda tried to argue, but it was clear there was no forgiveness to be found. They hurriedly packed their things, their children trailing behind, confused and scared. The guests left, muttering amongst themselves. The house, once again, was ours. James and I sat in the now quiet living room, the events of the night replaying in our minds. "I'm so sorry you had to go through this," he said, his voice heavy with guilt. "We did what we had to do," I replied, leaning into him. "I'm just glad it's over." And with that, we closed the chapter on Linda's deceit and started a new one, built on trust and the strength of our family bond. We knew that whatever challenges came our way, we would face them together, stronger and more united than ever before.